Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dark Match. This is the TNA show for the week of April 20th, 2012. I am the Lone Warrior, and joining me tonight are...
Teefus.
I'm Duo's Angel.
And I am NoLeaf Clover, and now it's time for What is Iron SHEIK tweeting now? I'm in the danger zone!
God damn it.
Virgil make anybody name sound worst name in world, I show you. Kanye West is now the Virgil West. Worst motherfucker forever. Hashtag Team Sheiky.
What?
I don't even... What now? What?
I think what he's trying to convey is that the name Virgil makes everything worse, and that he renamed Kanye West Virgil West. But personally, I thought Kanye West was a bad person before that, so I don't get it either.
I'm...
God damn it.
So Impact, it exists.
So, I will give them credit. They at least tried to do something clever this week. Obviously they failed, but they tried, so, they get a cookie.
Cookie.
Someone on Twitter said that too, where they said, at least they're trying new stuff. And my counterpoint to that was, I would much prefer them, get just the basics of putting on a competently run, show. I would much rather them get the basics right than do anything new and quote exciting at this point. But we'll get to we'll get to that.
Unfortunately. Yeah. But I definitely agree with that sentiment. This is not the kind of thing where you just kind of dive into the deep end and hope for the best. It's television.
Yeah.
You need to actually be good at what you're doing.
Go figure.
So, yeah.
We open the show, and Bobby Roode is out with his fancy new haircut because apparently, I'm starting to think, since we saw Kaz got his haircut, I'm not saying this is actually happening, but I feel like Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff are like, everybody needs haircuts now. Because who are the guys in the company with long hair now?
Hogan, and that's more because it's
Hogan and Bishop, Hogan and Garrett, maybe?
Storm.
Oh, yeah, Storm has long hair.
Well, I almost forgot about Storm, just like this fucking company did. Anyways.
Yeah, so Roode comes out, and one of the first things that actually came to my mind when I saw him was Chris Jericho when he went super serious. Because, you got a short-haired Canadian who's the champion wearing a fancy suit and acting like he's better than everyone.
It is eerily similar.
And anyway, he gets to the ring and he says, it feels good to be world champion still, because he came out here, several weeks ago saying that he was going to beat James Storm in front of his friends, his family, and more of his friends, his own backyard, and he made good on it. He beat James Storm. It wasn't James Storm beating James Storm at all.
Oh, God. And we're going to get into a very sad, emotional fucking James Storm thing.
Yeah, he does give Storm credit that, that last call really did, he said he was going to drill him with it, and he drilled him with it right out of the ring. And there's no one left for him to beat. He's beaten Storm, he's beaten Styles, he's beaten Hardy, he's beaten Sting. And there's just nobody left. And they cue the music. And out comes Ken Anderson.
Okay, but I will say that Anderson, since he has come back, has been slightly more tolerable than he was before.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Just a bit.
Just a scotch.
Yeah. Still though,
Anderson says, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to take your title, and I won't need a beer bottle to do it. And then, of course, Rude's all like, you've been sitting in Green Bay for months, and you're an asshole, because every time Anderson's on the screen, we have to remind people what his fucking catchphrase is. Which is really weird. Jimmy Corderas pointed this out on Twitter. They were censoring, they censored the word ass, but not the word asshole.
Seriously?
really?
Yeah. It's like when they were censoring all the cuss words, like, I think this was last week, but they didn't censor the word shit.
So basically, who's ever in charge is probably also on drugs, and this is the result. That, or they broke their censorship button, just like Diamanda Hagen.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that answer better.
That does make sense. So, Rude says he's been the most dominant champion, and as far as he's concerned, there's a whole lot of other guys who are ahead of freaking Ken Anderson. So he can go to the back of the goddamn line, and that cues Jeff goddamn Hardy.
You know what? You know what I was wondering? Where in the bluest of blue fucks was James Storm? I mean, it's almost like he didn't have a match on pay-per-view and gets screwed out of his title or something.
It's almost as if they don't know how to book a show.
I know,
What?
it's weird.
That's crazy.
I will say at this point, this is actually the one of the few parts of the show where I actually kind of was amused by something, because Anderson and Hardy start arguing back and forth, and Anderson says, "I was here first," and Rude was immediately just like, "He was here first." That actually really fucking worked. His timing was perfect on that.
Well, Bobby Roode can be awesome when he's given stuff to work with. He's just never given anything to work with.
I know, and I forgot that, so it was a pleasant surprise, getting to watch him be, I suppose, the sane one for 2.5 seconds.
He was given Canada for a minute.
Wait, what?
What?
Canada.
What about Canada?
He's Canadian, isn't he?
Yeah.
And?
So.
Yeah, he was on Team Canada. They gave him something with that.
Oh, okay.
Talking about,
okay.
like,
I wasn't around for
5
that,
fucking
dude.
years.
Hey, Scott D'Amore was awesome.
But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Okay. Anyway, Anderson and Hardy start fighting over who gets to be number one contender. Me, no me, no me, no me, no me, no me. And
because as we all know, in TNA, the talent gets to decide, who gets.
And Rude's just sitting there going, yeah, you both make very valid arguments. You should fight it out. And it gets ruined by Hogan, who appears on the Titantron and goes, let me tell you something here, brothers. If you think you should be the number one contender, brothers, you're gonna have to wrestle each other, brothers.
Yeah,
Whoever
brother.
wins the match is number one contender.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who came off pre-recorded?
Yeah, it's because it was.
He looked like he was in front of a green screen. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's just the way he was talking, like he said, because he addresses like what just happened down there between Hardy and Anderson. It's like, were you supposed to be implying that they got into a fight? Because they never got past a verbal sparring kind of deal. It's just, that was weird. The show was recorded weeks in advance. How do they not have Hogan on hand for this shit?
For this one segment where he actually is going to fucking announce something. He was at this show, so they just decided to not, to not do a better job at it just because.
Okay.
Okay, so Hogan is saying that he's going to go ahead and make a main event between Hardy and Anderson for #1 contendership, and everyone with a title needs to come down to the ring later because he has a huge announcement. Joy. This can't possibly be something stupid. No. It's going to be amazing, truly.
Why are you trying to hopes up? Why are you people's hopes up? Huh?
I'm not.
Because that seems like a really mean thing to do. To be like, oh, something amazing is about to happen. And then we get to that part of the show, they'll be like, oh, that wasn't amazing at all. This is false advertising. Then they're going to file a class action lawsuit against us.
Okay, my defense against that, my previous sarcasm aside, this show does still surprise us. Just usually not on purpose.
And not usually not in a good way.
Yeah.
But anyway,
all that aside, first match of the night, which I actually completely missed what it was supposed to be and had to get on here and look up results just to find out if it was a tag match or what. That might have been my fault. Or they might have not said it.
Yeah, our first match of the night is Crimson Bully Ray versus Matt Morgan and the X-Division champion, Austin Aries. And this wasn't a terrible little...
I am so pissed that they put a pay-per-view quality match and gave it away for free on TV.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what they do.
Because this is such pay-per-view quality.
It's with a straight face. Come on.
It's like, this could be a pay-per-view quality match, in people's nightmares. But I didn't think the match was that bad. Anytime Crimson and Matt Morgan are in the ring together, my eyes just glaze the fuck over.
Yeah, I could not in any way get invested in this. It just seemed really random and kind of pointless. It was there, but it's TNA, so I feel bad ever bitching about any kind of actual wrestling.
I mean, yeah, when there's wrestling on the show, it's hard to complain about it, but you'd prefer it to be like good wrestling.
Mm.
Yeah, and this was, it was an okay match. I mean, it could have been so much worse. Somehow.
I think the main reason it was as good as it was because it was Crimson and Matt Morgan didn't wrestle each other. You know what I mean? Like, if it had been Crimson and Matt Morgan wrestling each other, it would have been a completely... Why do they put these guys on the same fucking TV show? In a feud together. They're the same dude. Just one has red hair.
Pretty much.
And Matt Morgan's been in the business for 10 years and he still looks as green as fucking grass.
Actually, it's kind of funny that you would say that they're the same person, considering that technically their color schemes are totally opposite of each other. It's like they cloned...
Black and red versus white and blue. Oh my god, you're fucking right.
That's kind of scary, almost. That's actually interesting. Alright, no, it's not.
It's not interesting, it's just a weird coincidence.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the match was okay. It happened.
Match ends when Aries goes for the brainbuster on Bubba Ray, or on Bully Ray, but he reverses it into, and this is going to become a very common theme, a roll-up! with a handful of tights so we can see Ares' ass for good measure.
Funny thing, my mom was actually watching this with me because she apparently wasn't miserable and decided she needed to fix that. God knows she suffered more than I did. I'm pretty numb to this by now. And she was actually really upset by that. Probably because she had to see Austin Aries' ass.
Hmm. Who would be so upset by seeing Austin Aries' ass?
Hmm.
I don't know. We saw side ass. We saw rump. So I'm just kind of impressed that they pulled it that far up, because that's kind of pretty much exposing the taint, is what they did there.
Yeah, that was the thing, is that, like, I saw him going for that, and it's just like, heel tactics. And then he kept pulling, and it's like, what
Like,
the fuck are you doing, dude?
it's like, damn it, bully, are you trying to check his oil or something?
You just have to get a grip on it. You're not supposed to be pulling.
Yeah, it's just, ugh. Creepy.
Yeah. So, match. We go backstage, and Garrett Bischoff's making his way out to the ring. Is making his way towards the ring. So, there's something stupid's about to happen. And
no one gives a shit about this guy.
we quickly shift gears to the cameraman, asking Jeff Hardy the stupid question of the night by asking whose turn it is to be the number one contender, him or Anderson. And instead of, giving a smart-ass answer, he gives a stupider answer. Stupider's not a word. He gives an even dumber answer by going, well, it's both of our turns, man, but we'll decide who gets to do it in the ring.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Things that will be funny in hindsight later.
Herf, derf, derf, herf. Gah! And Garrett comes out and out comes Garrett Bischoff, and he's got most of the Lethal Lockdown team with him. And they actually get a pretty good pop from this. I mean, they've got RVD.
Whoa. Let's be honest.
They got a pretty good piped-in answer from the crowd. Better?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was real, but they had the little, like, cue things up above the thing that said cheer, boo. Because these are Universal Studios tourists that we're talking about here. They'll go in and cheer and boo anything they're told they're supposed to, because it's Universal. Be part of the show.
Yeah.
I don't
It's probably not that hard. They're there for the experience of a wrestling show, I guess. So they'd cheer or boo or whatever they think they're supposed to, however they feel.
I don't know what's going on. It's fun.
So they get out to the ring, and the only one who's really missing from this is Austin Aries. And that's probably because he had just had a match, but even
and
so.
lost.
Yeah. So they gave Garrett the mic. And he starts talking about how, Lockdown was one of the biggest nights of his life. The stakes were high. It was a tough challenge, but they all put in their best efforts. They came out on top, and they got rid of Eric. They got rid of his old man once and for all. And he turns to everyone else, and he's like, "Thanks, guys. Thank you for helping me. I couldn't have done it without you." And instead of, doing what most sane people would have done at this point, jumping him and beating him into a bloody pulp, they start talking about how great he is. And excuse me.
TNA sure does love just having their moments of, yes, let us all talk about how amazing we are in the middle of a ring.
It's fucking Garrett Bischoff. There is nothing amazing about him except for the fact that he fucking exists and we know about him.
That's amazing?
Yes, because he's a talented fuckwit.
Talentless.
Yeah, if he's not talented.
If he was a
I said
talented
talentless.
fuckwit, we would
I
actually be
said-
really happy.
I said talentless fuckwit.
No, you said talented.
No, I didn't.
You said
Yes, you did.
talented.
No, I didn't.
All
Okay,
three of us
whatever.
heard it, you jackass. Just own it.
Whatever.
It's
Anyways,
fine, dude. Everyone slips up.
Freudian
But I'm
slip.
trying
NoLeaf
to-
thinks that Garrett Bischoff is talented.
I fucking hate you guys.
We love you too. Moving on. So, lots of self-congratulations, and then Ric Flair wearing
Oh, yeah.
both of his Hall of Fame rings.
Yep, Flair comes out and he says that, there's talent, the talent in the ring. There's talent in the ring, and there's plenty of it, but they're only all there because of one man, Eric, and they fucking censored his last name. They fucking censored his last name.
Well,
Did they censor it there too? I didn't catch it there, but I caught it later when they were doing the promotional thing, and it was even like blurred out. I could not figure out why they're censoring his name.
Because
What the fuck?
technically, stipulation of the match was that Eric Bischoff would be banned from TV and that his name couldn't be used on TV again. I just thought that meant that you couldn't say the words Eric Bischoff or you'd get, like, I don't know, fined or something. But apparently they decided to take it to a different place. A much dumber one.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I saw the King Cole feud last year.
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay.
So, anyway, Flair says that Garrett's a disrespectful punk. The next week, they're going to be throwing a party in tribute to Eric Boop, and that they better and that the assholes in the ring better stay home because they're not invited.
Everyone proceeds to fake cry.
Yes, and Flair wanders off to the back, presumably because he's Flair and somebody. It was time for his pudding. I don't know.
There was a leggy broad standing there waving him back. Who knows?
Divorce number 7.
Ugh.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
for that.
I don't want Garrett on my fucking TV anymore. I'm not even. Why?
Don't worry. They'll
Even-
find.
Even nepotism has to have its fucking limits, right?
Not really.
Yes. It does, but they usually don't discover them until it's way too late.
I don't care about this. What does he have? He has nothing. Does anybody notice that Impact gets infinitely shittier the more Hulk Hogan and fucking Eric are involved?
No.
Like,
I
Impact
don't
was
notice
actually not that fucking horrible for a
that.
while.
I don't notice what you're talking about at all.
Shut up, Teefus.
I
Teefus.
don't get it.
Sadly, I can't agree with that because I've never known any other kind of TNA Impact.
Well, TNA wasn't. It was. Here's the dilemma, because when it was boring, yeah, it sucked because it was boring, but at least it appeared competent. Now Eric Bischoff and Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan are back, and shit's even worse than it was before. It's like we can't just get a happy fucking medium where it's like, oh, this is okay, this is decent. It doesn't make me want to fucking gouge my eyes out with a fucking fork, then eat them. I just want TNA to stop sucking. Is that so much to ask?
Apparently.
Yes, it is. Come on now. Anyway, up next, let's get far away from this Garrett segment because this is the only time I think we see him tonight. Thank God. So we go from that to Christopher Daniels and Kazarian in the back, and this is who was it that put forward the theory that the reason why everyone was getting haircuts was because they needed it for money?
I don't know.
I can't remember who said that.
Backlash mentioned it earlier in the chat tonight.
Anyway, basically they say, what is the secret that you've been holding? Or Daniel says, people have been asking me, what am I holding over Kazarian's head? But it's never been about him, it's been about AJ. But if you still want to know what it is, well, tune in later tonight.
We
Okay.
still know nothing. Sorry.
See, now this kind of caught me by surprise, because I've been ignoring the hell out of this angle in the easiest way possible by just not watching. Aside from the fact that this has been going on way too long, I swear to God, I called that shit when it first started. That this is somehow, that was what was going on. And I was barely even aware of what was going on in the first place. Is this new information tonight that the whole thing was blackmail for AJ and Kazarian was being the good buddy thing and then turned against him at some point for no reason?
Yeah, I think so.
TNA, when you're going through with ideas that I can come up with on my own, you need to fire all of your writing staff immediately. Because they're not good enough. Because I have horrible ideas.
No, you don't have a horrible idea. You can just call out bullshit when you see it. And this fucking angle is bullshit.
It is. I'm sure it would have been better if it was condensed. Like,
oh, you mean instead of going on for like the last 4 months with no fucking end in sight?
Yeah, like all of this should have happened within like a couple weeks, come to a head at a pay-per-view, and then maybe something else. But oh god, just I didn't care when it started, and I certainly don't care now.
I don't think any of us care. I mean,
yeah, I got nothing.
So, moving on.
Something with Devon and the tag team champions about what Hogan wants, and they don't know. But they're ready for anything, and Devon's all, yeah, so am I. And let's move on to the next match. It's Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles, which was actually one of the best matches of the night. I'm going to be quite honest. So the match starts, and they, it starts to get really good, and then the screen just goes black, like dead. No fucking warning at all, just. And then 10 seconds later, they go to commercial.
Yeah.
Really? They managed to fix that for the replay over on the West Coast.
Oh no! When it originally aired, they fucked it up.
Wow,
oh yeah,
I missed that.
They even acknowledged it on the official Spike Twitter. So yeah.
Whoopsies. So when they come back, the match is has been going on for a bit. We've clearly missed something because Christopher Daniels and Kazarian are at ringside, and AJ.
I can explain that. Basically, after doing the same lock hold over and over and over and over, and then finally getting throwing each other out of the ring, the reason why the match was going nowhere fast was just so Kazarian and Daniels could come down with the envelope and distract AJ. Then it cut to commercial on my end, and then there was an actual wrestling match going on when it came back.
Yeah. Their cuts were really goofy this week too, in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not even just to commercial. I mean all of their cuts, all their camera transitions and everything.
Yeah, like cinematography-wise, this episode of Impact kind of sucked. And will somebody please tell them to give up the close-ups during promos because they're awful.
How about just presenting? How about just? This is what I said about TNA needing to learn the fucking basics. It's not rocket science.
It's really not. So, yeah. Match goes on, and
AJ goes for the Styles Clash, but he sees Daniels up on the apron and goes after him, and Daniels gives him an envelope, and AJ, the fucking moron he is, decides that he's going to open it to see whatever's inside, and he sees whatever it is. It shocks him into being really, 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 really dense, and he goes, "Where'd you get this?" And Angle sneaks up behind him and rolls him up for a 3 count.
yeah.
So Angle wins, and AJ stares up at the ramp with, he stuffs this piece of paper down the front of his pants, and looks up the ramp, and even Angle actually looked kind of pissed about this. Like,
Yeah, I actually thought that at one point that Angle was just going to beat the fuck out of Daniels and Kazarian just for interrupting his match.
That would have been an interesting twist to what is fast becoming the Scott Steiner test feud of 2012. You remember the Scott Steiner test feud that just wouldn't end, and then it ended with Scott Steiner and Test becoming a tag team, and no one fucking cared? Yeah, this is what this angle is like. Only it has far more talented people, which makes it far
and we
sadder.
stopped caring a lot earlier. Well, no, to be fair, the Steiner test feud was probably bad from the start. So we go backstage, and let's not get into this. Let's not get into this. Joseph Park, it's a piss, is backstage talking, and he's talking to Gunner because
he ran into him.
Because he was there, and he's trying to ask Gunner questions, and Gunner is not playing this game homie. So he tries to leave, and Abyss grabs him by the arm and goes, "Where's my brother? Do you know what a default judgment is? Where's my brother?" And Gunner basically goes, "Look, the last time I saw you, I mean your brother, he was with Bully Ray, so go ask him."
Hasn't this been going on for weeks and he hasn't talked to Bully Ray yet?
Yeah, pretty much.
See,
Ever
you're
since
you're thinking logically again. There you go. Using logic in TNA again.
Why wouldn't you immediately go to the person he was in a feud with last? I get that it's wrestling, and you're only gonna have so much. Like, you gotta just do some things a little strangely because it's wrestling. That's okay, but it's been weeks.
There you go, using logic again.
And
there hurts. We go with another angle no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
So, we go from something stupid to something, Stupid! Because Samoa Joe and Magnus have come out to the ring, followed by Gail Kim and Devon. Devon comes out, and it happens again. Just the feed decides to go, nope, screw this shit. So we come back, and all of the champions have finally made it out to the ring. Well, Bobby Roode's just getting out there. And we go backstage to Hulk Hogan coming out, but he runs into RVD. And he grabs RVD and he says, you know, brother, let me tell you something. Brother, dude, Jack, tonight, the Hardy Anderson match, we're going to make it a 3-way dance, brother. Because you deserve to be the #1 contender too, maybe, brother.
Because you never lost your title and you were never pinned. And oh my god, they're still talking about this after a fucking year.
Wouldn't, last year have been a great time to rectify that? Because no one cares now.
Hogan was a bad guy.
I'm pretty sure he's had rematches since. I don't know if he got screwed then too, but it's like, that angle is so dead. It's skeletal. Just that should never be brought up again. It's done.
Nothing is ever done.
That
Just
seems
keeps
to be the theme of
keeps
last
coming
night's
back.
episode is stuff that's been dragged out far too long.
Like
in
a
one
bad
way or
case of
another.
herpes. It just keeps coming back. And right when you think it's gone, it comes back again.
Anyway, so Hogan finally gets his ass out to. Does he actually get to the ring? I can't remember because it was Hogan.
Yeah, he comes to the.
Okay, he hobbles his way down to the ring, and he says, "Okay, well, let me tell you something, Jack. The first thing we're gonna do is I'm announcing Open Fight Night, brothers, which will be a first couple of things. One, a wrestler from outside of TNA will have the chance to come in and wrestle. And brother, if me and my panel of judges all like them, they'll be signed to a TNA contract." So it's kind of a loose
voice.
It hurts.
It's the voice. They're doing the voice on a wrestling show.
I think you're talking about me trying to do Hogan.
Yeah, essentially they are, and it. Yeah, this is.
They're doing the voice. Why? Why?
I've already claimed something was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard, because I was wrong. This is so stupid. This is just terrible. Interestingly, though, right before this, my mom was talking about how in wrestling today, any schmuck can get a contract. Thanks, TNA. I had been trying to argue that she was wrong about that.
You're surprised that
duos having expectations and whatnot.
Expecting TNA to not make wrestling look bad.
Yeah.
So he also announces that any wrestler can challenge any other wrestler. Anyone, and this is going to be important next week, but spoilers, and the person who gets challenged has to show up, and that includes the champions. And Bobby Roode gets really pissed off, and he says, "Do you know who I am?"
Yes.
And then Gail Kim says, "Well, who gets to decide what champion is wrestling?" And Hogan basically goes, me, duh. And finally, he does something that is shocking in a wait, this isn't already the fucking rule way. And he tells Devon that, as the TV champion, he's going to have to defend that title every week on TV.
Duh.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, they already said that to fucking. I think when AJ first made the Legends title, the TV title, he already said that he was going to do that, and they dropped it. And then I think they've said that a couple times now that the TV title is going to be defended on every show, and they just fucking drop it because
they get distracted by something shiny or whatever, and they forget all about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
He says that since Gail Kim's already in the ring, we're gonna lead into our next match, which nobody's going to care about.
Well, let's back out some credit.
This wasn't that bad. I mean, there were a few times where I was actually kind of interested because some of these women can actually wrestle. Hell, what surprised me was getting to see Tessmacher because she doesn't do half bad, although somehow putting her up against Gail Kim managed to kill that, which is just weird.
Maybe it's because it's Gail Kim. Maybe it's not Tessmacher, it's Kim.
Honestly, maybe Gail's just not the kind of person that makes other people look good.
I don't know. I thought she looked fine when she was in there with Gail.
Yeah, but like when she was in with Sarita, she looked so much better. It was just kind of a shock.
I don't know, but this was a really good match. It was probably match of the night. You know,
Scary.
you let the knockouts wrestle, good things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Teefus, you've been quiet all night, and it's creeping me the fuck out.
Well, you're
It is
not the only one I'm
strange.
freaking out, apparently, but that's a different story.
Did you get attacked by pod people?
No pod people. I have a deal worked out with him.
You have a deal worked out with a pod person?
Pod people.
Okay, you had a deal worked out with pod people.
Yeah, they unionized.
Anyway.
like it's more fun to talk about fucking TNA than pod people.
Well, what?
Yeah, we
The
basically
quicker
did
we
just
get
cover,
this-
like last
The
decent match.
quicker we
So.
get this over with, the quicker we can talk about stupid shit as much as we want.
I want to
I
talk
think.
about pod people now.
No!
All right. She's right. Let's move on.
Thank you.
So, winners: Tara, Tessmacher, Velvet Sky, Mickey James. Yay!
With a roll up.
Oh God.
Didn't we miss a match that ended in a roll up?
No.
Did we?
No, we've covered the 3 of the 5
Yeah,
matches.
no. We've covered all the matches and
Yeah,
roll up,
there's
roll up,
only
roll up.
one match that didn't have a roll up this week, so.
Yeah, so, blah, blah, blah. Ken Anderson's backstage talking about how he likes open fight night and he'll show Bobby Roode. Yada, yada, yada. Eric Young and ODB are on their...
fight night. I'm gonna get you, Bobby Roode. If it's the last thing I do. Because
I'm
I'm
an
an asshole.
And then we go to something that I don't remember watching this. I mean, I do remember that it was on, but I don't remember. Eric Young and ODB are on their honeymoon, talking about how great it's been. And Eric Young has an ice pack on his crotch from far too much friction. Cheers, TNA.
Wow. Don't hate on Eric because he's getting some and you're not. He's just a pimp.
More Freudian slips there, eh?
I mean fucking Eric Young. God damn it.
I wasn't hating on Young. I was just saying this was kind of silly.
It was a little too much for me. I actually ended up skipping most of this.
Some guy comes by to take their orders for drinks or something, and Young gets up and he's like, my crazy hobo beard will devour your soul. And the guy runs away, rightfully, terrified of the crazy hobo beard. And he sits back down and he gets back to icing his crotch, and ODB probably says something funny. And there's a brief clip of James Storm, slowly making his way to the ring. And we go into our next match. It's the TV title match for tonight. Devon versus Gunner. Hold on, I'm trying to give a damn.
It happened.
Trying.
That's all I really remember is that it happened. It was a title match. Yay.
Trying. Nope, can't do it.
Yeah, me neither.
It happened and it wasn't god awful. The end.
It had the only non-roll up finish.
That makes this match awesome.
Yeah, actually, that does kind of put it up there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. It happened. Devon wins, not with a roll-up, retains the title. Moving on. Fun times. Time for a Storm
I,
promo.
I still, I tried to, I kept my mouth shut earlier, but I gotta voice my concern with this. Like, Hogan came out earlier and he's all, babyface general manager, and I'm gonna make changes and make this company awesome. And he basically the only announcement he made pertaining to any title that had any effect on any of the champions only affected the one definitively face champion, and it affected him in an adverse way.
Yeah, I noticed that. That was interesting.
So,
Hogan is
Although,
shit at being a face.
well,
to their
I
credit,
mean,
to the
his
credit of
champions,
the writers, Devon was completely on board with it.
yeah, and as he should be because he's a fighting champion and everything. That's cool, but at the same,
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, wait a minute, where's the Knockouts tag team champions? Are they that much of a joke, or just burying those titles and just leaving them, dead off in the corner? Okay, but none of the other champions needed to be out there. Nothing he said affected any of the rest of them.
Yeah, the
And,
only one who really seemed to give a damn was fucking Rude. And that's because he realized he might have to wrestle more than once a month.
Gail Kim complained as well.
and she had no reason to.
No, I swear the only reason they were out there was so Rude and Kim could be upset, and Kim, I don't even remember what Rude said, but Kim sounded painfully scripted.
And it's like what did they have to be upset about? The only person affected by this was fucking Devon, and he's okay with it. Why do you care?
Because they're heels. And
Yeah.
anything that the face general manager says must automatically be bad for them because
And that's just
heels.
like, it's such piss poor writing. It's like they're just there just to react to Hulk Hogan, and it's like, we don't need that. Save it for when there's something for them to react to. And we get him later. Yeah, he defends his title. That starts tonight. How screwed is he that he gets an impromptu title match the night of without like half an hour of notice?
Yeah.
And he's okay with it, but the people not affected by it are pissed off about it, and they don't even do anything about it during the match. They don't interfere or anything. So, but
maybe they're hoping to actually make Devon look really good.
Surprisingly, though, the way I saw it, Devon carried Gunner to an actually decent match for once in his career.
Yeah. Admittedly, if that's what we get out of this, like, it is as negative as it kind of appears for Devon, if we basically get to watch Devon be a kick-ass fighting champion, cool.
It's something different.
Really wouldn't be that bad, actually.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it'd be something different.
Now, if he loses the belt in 2 weeks...
Which is entirely possible.
I honestly expected him to lose it tonight. Because he's a face and it's TNA. But I guess Gunner isn't getting a insane push anymore.
He's still getting more push than he fucking deserves. Fuck you, Gunner.
Okay, so going back to the present, or where we left off, I should say. Sorry.
Have to.
Yes. James Storm promo.
It's just sad.
Storm comes out and he says that he just wants to say something really, really fast to his friends, his family, his fans, and the people in the Impact Zone. And basically he apologizes for losing and that, he thought he was really going to beat Rude. He wasn't just going to cause Rude pain. He was going to hurt him. He wanted to hurt him for what he was doing. And his ego... his ego would yada yada yada. When he got to the back, he after the match was over, he realized, yeah, Rude needed paramedics, but really, I still lost. I had to. It was a long drive home, and when I got home, my daughter was like, "Daddy, where's the world title?" And he had to tell her that he didn't win it, and it hurt. It killed him inside, and he didn't want his kids to think he was a loser.
You know what's
And
so you know what's funny about this is the fact that he had to cut this promo even though he was supposed to win. He was supposed to fucking win. The rumor is, so as to not upset anyone. The rumor is that he was supposed to win, and at the last minute, Hulk Hogan and Eric
Well,
Bischoff.
in the last 2 weeks
Yes.
before the event, not necessarily last minute, but
Well,
I think-
about the way
fuck.
they were built, they've been building the match for 2 months. So,
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, deciding you're not going to do it in 2 weeks, it pretty much constitutes last minute at that point. Because at that point, you're starting.
in that context, yeah, all things considered, but still, it's just they're the one thing that really kills me about this fucking thing is the whole mentality of, and he actually says this, is that Rude didn't beat him, he beat himself. It's like, I don't ever want to hear anyone say that so-and-so didn't beat him, didn't beat me, I beat myself. That's just so fucking cliche.
That, honestly, aside, the fact that, Storm was kind of screwed over aside, that was my big problem with this promo, is that I could not get invested because it really did come off as just really cliche and kind of overly sad. It didn't really feel all that heartfelt.
Yeah.
At least as far as, the actual words. It does come off as, I beat myself. Really?
Yeah. It's who the fuck are you, man, to sit there and say that shit?
Well, to be fair, he did kind of let his ego get the better of him on that one.
In the psychology of the match, yeah, he did, because he was about to fucking win, and then
he fucked himself over.
Yeah.
But still, if you look at it like that, then yeah, he's got a point. But it's.
I'm not really saying any of this overall sentiment of the promo was bullshit, but just badly done. Just the wording itself is just really kind of cliche and just sort of eye roll inducing is what I mean.
It didn't really mean anything.
But they're making it kind of sound like he's considering retiring, and because he's wrestled for 15 years with all kinds of injuries, and he's done it because every time he'd get in the ring and fans start chanting his name, and it made it really worth it. And he thanks all of the fans, and he wanted to say he's sorry to his dad, who's looking down at him from up in heaven, blah blah blah. Basically, it makes it sound like he's gonna quit or retire. Or
Rubble.
Which, from what I remember hearing, his contract's coming up soon, and I don't know where, can't remember where I heard this, but WWE might have been looking at him.
Leave, James, leave.
Go.
For the love of all that's holy, don't be like Joe.
Get out while you still can, you fool. So
maybe it won't be great at the beginning, but damn it, you never know. It could get better.
yeah,
No, it can't.
Probably not.
He goes to keep on talking about he goes to continue the promo, and he just stops and drops the mic, and he gets out of the ring, and
So he was supposed to win, and it would have made so much sense for him to win. I'm not just talking about I'm a James Storm fan and I wanted him to win. the only logical end to that fucking angle was him winning. And he didn't win.
You mean kind of like when Bobby Roode was supposed to win the title in the first place?
Yeah. And Hogan thought he would. And Hogan thought he wasn't worthy of the fucking title then. And apparently he wanted. Apparently
it's a swerve, brother. We worked the crowds, man. We made them think I didn't think. Blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up, Hogan.
How I don't get how he doesn't understand how wrestling works, because you know he's been in the business for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
This is a dumbass. This whole fucking thing is stupid. That's all it is. There's nothing good about it.
Nope. Well, what else is new? This is fucking TNA where dreams go to fucking die and awesome shit never happens.
And if it does, it just gets destroyed a week later.
Pretty much. Anyways, since we're depressed now, what do we have to talk about?
The main event.
Yeah, this
was really cookie cutter. It was basically okay, you do this, now I'll do this, then he does that, and it was meh.
Kinda, yeah. And just unless anybody has any reason not to, I'm just gonna go ahead and announce the winner.
No, don't do it.
Aw, shit. Sorry, man.
Okay, go.
You asshole.
Okay, here's how the match ends. Hardy hits a twist of fate on Anderson, drags his ass up to the top rope, and hits a swanton. RVD hits Hardy with the leg lariat and hits the 5-star splash on Anderson. Hardy goes for another twist of fate on RVD, but RVD counters it into a backslide. Go ahead, Duos.
God, it was another fucking roll up, wasn't it? Too. I don't even remember now.
It was a backslide, but yeah.
Technically, it was a back.
Yeah.
Which,
RVD wins.
Think about it, is sort of like a roll up, but let's not.
No. Like at this point, after so many roll ups, yeah, we'll split the hairs. if it wasn't a roll up, it wasn't a fucking roll up. They're allowed to have roll up things. But yeah, RVD wins, thus making, at least in my eyes, the entire beginning promo kind of fucking stupid. Whose time was it? RVD's, apparently. Then why the fuck wasn't he involved from the beginning?
Because RVD draws, brother, even though he hasn't drawn since, like, he was in... I don't remember when the fuck the last time he probably drew money is.
I don't know, but I just find it hilarious that we've built it up between Anderson and Hardy only to just be like, oh, here, have RVD.
Swerve.
Why?
Here's this guy who hasn't been in the company for like 4 months. We've only spent, all that fucking time building up this other young, talented star.
Yeah, so I do kind of love that thing. It's like, do we give Storm a rematch? Nah. RVD and Anderson? Yeah, fuck them. They've had it enough times. Let's just drag RVD into this out of nowhere.
Don't you mean Hardy and Anderson? You said RVD.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, see, NoLeaf, I told you. Everybody slips up.
I don't slip up. I never slip up.
Except for those 2 times you did.
I said except when I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Impact. It was kind of dull.
I thought it was just plain fucking bad. Which, on one hand, I'm like, yay, bad Impact, I get to bitch. And on the other hand, I'm like, oh, bad Impact, I have to bitch.
Well,
Yeah, but it was the kind of bad impact was like, yeah, I
it was
can't even really bitch
predictable.
about it. Yeah.
This was kind of predictable, and I haven't been watching Impact that much lately. As in, I actually haven't really been watching it at all, for one reason or another, and it just... This was kind of really boring and predictable, even though I'm working with assumptions from months ago. That's kind of pathetic.
Yeah. Just this was the first, like, aggressively bad Impact we've had in a long time. And like I said, I can't decide if that's a good thing because we have shit to talk about, or if that's a bad thing and an omen of things to come.
Dude.
Honestly, like, I know when it was just kind of mediocre, we were all complaining about how it wasn't bad anymore, because we didn't have anything to say, but you know what? The hope that they were on the uprise was there, and it kind of really sucks to be like, oh, shit.
Well,
How
but
dare
still,
I care again?
Yeah. It's
Well, on that depressing bombshell, I think it's time to play everybody's favorite game. What gets more screen time than John Morrison?
Don't you mean Jay Lethal?
Jay Lethal, what is wrong with me tonight? God fucking damn it! I hate everything.
I want to go first. I want to go first. I want to go first.
Okay.
NoLeaf fucking up his lines.
Ah, fuck you!
I had to. I actually have nothing. Somebody else go first.
my new Facebook stalker gets more screen time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna have to go with Jeff Hardy actually looking halfway decent with his face paint and his ring gear this week gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Oh, I heartily disagree on that. Let's see. Decent knockouts matches get more screen time than Jay Lethal, which,
AJ's continuing incredible stupidity gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
The Garrett Bischoff is awesome blowjob fest got more screen time than Jay Lethal.
which actually I have a better one. Somehow Eric is still, in a way, getting more screen time. Gotta
Well,
love
that's
this company.
depressing.
God damn it.
I think
Yeah, I'm
gonna
just here to
cry
ruin
now.
everybody's day this week.
Yeah.
Wait. I got a different one. Really, really shitty censoring.
Yeah. I think that about covers it for this week.
Yes.
Don't forget to subscribe to us on Blip TV or YouTube.
No,
Keep up.
subscribe.
That's what I said.
You said describe.
No, I'm pretty sure she said subscribe.
Just go. Don't forget to just fuck. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Blip TV and YouTube by subscribing to keep up to date with our videos. You can follow our individual Twitters, although don't follow mine. I barely post on it. Don't forget to check out TRE Productions, where our videos tend to get posted. Although I think there's been a problem with
he's having technical difficulties. His
there's
computer
technical
died.
difficulties with.
He'll be back in like a week.
We're on Reviewtopia's community section. We're on the Spoonie Experiment forums, and we started to do a live stream during the shows that we tend to do, or not like during these shows, but like when Raw or Impact or whatever's on. There's probably going to be a live stream
Come
of
listen to us be jackasses in person. Or not in person.
Thrill
Wow.
as we make fun of Skippy.
Come listen to me bitch and rant and moan about my Facebook stalker.
Come listen to me obsess over Homestuck.
Okay, I'm NoLeaf Clover.
I'm Duo's Angel.
I'm Teefus, and I like dolls.
I'm the Bone Warrior. Fuck it.
Good night and good luck, everybody.